Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here at the 2021 Palm Coast Memorial Day ceremony. Would everyone please stand for the posting of the colors presented by the Matanzas Burke Junior ROTC.
Riders, and salute.
Thank you. Excellent. Please join myself and Emma Stanford, a Gold Star sister, in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for the National Anthem performed by the Choral Art Society.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Emma. I would like to invite Pastor Greg Peters from Parkview Church to open our ceremony with a prayer. Greg?
Let us pray. Father, I thank you so much for this gorgeous day. A day where we can come and commemorate the occasion of our freedom and the celebration of our freedom. We truly are the land of the free because of the brave. I think of the words to the song, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who gave that right to me. And all of us today gather here because of the men and women who have given their lives to give us not just freedom, but freedoms. It breaks out in so many ways. In fact, right now I will practice the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion as we practice together the freedom of assembly and those here practicing the freedom of press. And it just goes on and on. We're thankful for the freedom that we have. I can't help but think today on this solemn occasion about the words of our Savior Jesus as he said, "Greater love has no man than this, than someone lay down their life for their friends." You knew what sacrifice is all about, but today we see it in a very tangible way before us as we celebrate the freedom of our great country. God bless America. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Today, Monday, May 31st, 2021, we gather to honor America's courageous men and women who gave their lives as the ultimate sacrifice for their country. Oh, I'm sorry, please be seated. Today is the day we take time to share our eternal gratitude to every one of them. I'd like to read these words to you this morning because I believe they genuinely reflect our Palm Coast community sentiment on this Memorial Day. These memories were written by the Groden family of Lakeland, Tennessee. At the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and the chill of the winter, we remember them. At the opening of buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of skies and warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them. As long as we live, they will live. For now, they are part of us as we remember them. Rest in peace, dear soldiers, we will never forget. Every year, Memorial Day is a time to pay homage to all American military personnel killed in action, and these numbers are just staggering. 116,576 in World War I, 405,399 in World War II, 36,510 in the Korean War, 58,269 in Vietnam, 4,486 in Iraq, and 7,050 and still counting in the fight against international terrorism. As we look to the sacred monuments surrounding us, we remember the names of Palm Coast's own military personnel who gave their lives in service to America. Their names are forever inscribed with honor here in Heroes Memorial Park. If any family members of these heroes are present this morning, will you please stand? United States Air Force Master Sergeant Michael George Iser. United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal John T. Schmidt III. United States Marine Corps Sergeant Zachary J. Walters. United States Army Specialist Raheen Tyson Hyder. United States Army Sergeant Lucas T. Stanford. United States Air Force Staff Sergeant Robert Stephen Martin O'Neill. May your hearts be filled on this Memorial Day 2021 with pride and love for your family member. Always know that your Palm Coast community gives thanks for your sacrifice. Rest in peace, dear soldiers, we will never forget. It is now my honor to introduce Congressman Michael Waltz. He is not only our representative for the 6th Congressional District of Florida, but also a highly decorated colonel and the first Green Beret to serve in Congress. He has served multiple combat tours while in the Special Forces in Afghanistan, the Middle East, and Africa. Congressman Waltz is determined to be part of the new generation of leadership in Congress. Servant leaders who lead by example with their values and deliver results. His commitment is the same now as it was in combat, to serve with everything he has, without regard for his own self and with a sense of duty. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Michael Waltz.
Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of our, I see Commissioner Hanson in the back there, go Navy. I see so many, I see you over there, Bill. This is a tough day for so many of us. It's a real day of reflection. For me, this is a day, almost every day is Memorial Day, and certainly for you all. for the Gold Star families that don't get to celebrate today. My fiance is here, Julia, also a veteran, more combat tours than I have, so I better keep my act together when it's back at the house. But you know, I just want to take a moment and tell you how personal this day is for me. We heard those statistics, and those statistics are tough. These 6 on the wall here from Palm Coast are tough. For me, I wake up every day and I think about Staff Sergeant Matt Pacino. Matt was one of my Green Berets. He was one of my best. And in fact, every single mission when things got really, really deteriorated in Afghanistan, you know, the enemy scores their own points sometimes, and they were coming after us. And Matt volunteered to go on every single patrol, and he volunteered to take point on every single patrol, many times in vehicles. We had armored vehicles, but because the Taliban were using tripwires at the time, Matt volunteered to go out ahead of the armored convoy on a motorcycle so he could be close to the ground. And when I asked him about it, I said, Matt, this is just taking a lot of risk here, brother. He said, I know, but we're not going to let them take it to us. We're going to take it back to them. And I don't want one of these tripwires to get our vehicles, because then that would mean 5 of my brothers. This way, if we miss one, it'll only be me and not 5 of my fellow Green Berets. And obviously, he missed one day. But that was the thinking, right? I'd rather them get me than 5 of my fellow Green Berets. It's crazy, right? Sergeant First Class Brian Woods. Sorry, I still struggle to talk about these guys. He had premonitions of his own death to the extent that he wrote letters to every one of his family members and every one of his teammates and everybody in kind of his extended family. You know, a Green Beret knows something bad is going to happen if he divides up all his gear, because he loved his gear. But yet, when the good Lord took him, he was charging a Taliban machine gun nest. Charging. Not sitting back in the vehicle, not like having these premonitions, sitting back on his base. He was moving out. And the amazing thing about him was that he was a medic, the only medic on his team. He had cross-trained all of his fellow teammates to the point, even with a shot to the head, they were able to keep him alive, get him back to Germany, and his wife was able to fly over to spend the last evening with him. I could go on for the Green Berets that we lost, but I want, and we all should, those of us that lost brothers and sisters, we need to personalize it. For so many Americans out there that don't know what's been sacrificed for that flag. I want to take a minute too. We can't, it's those that fell in combat, but it's those that are falling every day in suicide. You know, I've dealt with my own survivor's guilt. I've dealt with my own PTSD, my own traumatic brain injury. For me, it's continuing to give back, right, to this great nation. Now it's up in Washington, D.C. Sometimes I think that's as tough as Afghanistan. That's okay, right? But we can't forget them either, and we're losing too many. We're losing way too many. And then finally, to our Gold Star families. You know, you get 3 really tough choices when you're the family of a service member. We definitely aren't coming back the same as we left mentally, right? Sometimes we don't come back with all the parts that we left with, unfortunately. And they go from not only being a breadwinner while you're gone and taking care of the family while you're gone, but now they have to take care of us. And they have to be a caregiver on top of that burden, right? Or in the worst case, we don't come home at all. But that's the choices that when you see a Gold Star family, you see them honored. Those are the choices that they face, and none of them are good when we go, right? so that's why it's such an incredible obligation for our elected leadership, particularly in Washington, when we send men and women off to war. Those families back home are the ones bearing the burden, and I ask everyone, thank your veteran, of course. They all appreciate it, and I see all of you out here. You appreciate it. And we don't always get the thanks that we deserve. I see my brothers and sisters from Vietnam that have never received the appreciation and thanks that they deserve. But take an extra step and thank their families, thank those kids, thank their sisters and brothers, moms and dads that get those three tough choices. And then finally, I would say my call to action, twofold. Number one, keep serving. To the veterans that are here, you know, you went over there, you did your duty, you came home, but you're not done. Go into, you know, the VFW or the Legion and tell them war stories, not good enough. Keep giving back. Find ways to serve. Give back to your community, to your country, to your neighbors. Right? Give back. For me, legislatively, I am pushing to get us back to national service so that our young people graduate, hopefully graduate school, but then they can go serve. It doesn't have to be in the military. You don't have to wear a uniform to serve. National parks, inner city tutor, Peace Corps, or military service, FEMA Volunteer Corps, I don't care. But you're imbued with serving a cause bigger than you. And you're doing it with brothers and sisters to your left and right that are committed to that cause, with leadership, discipline, followership. And you do it with people that don't look like you and don't come from the same backgrounds. That's how you learn to understand each other and appreciate each other. My other call to service is to be worthy. Like every day that I wake up in Washington, D.C., I try to get some PT in. I'm still going in the National Guard, so I have to keep up with those guys. But I also put this bracelet on for one of my guys. I look in the mirror, I tell myself to be worthy. When I walk up those Capitol steps, not only to be worthy of you all, who have trusted me as your representative, but to be worthy of those who didn't come back, and to be worthy of those who are standing out on that wall right now as we speak. So that's my challenge to you all. Keep serving, find ways to serve, don't be asked, seek it out. Let's give our junior ROTC a round of applause. I have a measure in the next defense bill to double the amount of junior ROTC, to double the number of units around the country. Thank you. To serve. Look, keep serving and keep imbuing that in our kids, keep imbuing that in our family members, and to our junior ROTC, don't lock your knees, wiggle your toes. We've all done it. For me, it was in a wool uniform, Virginia Military Institute, about 100 degrees. It happens, and thank God she's okay. Thank you so much for coming out, and I think Councilman Clufus, back over to you. God bless you, and I salute you.
I'd like to close our ceremony this. One second. Chorus? Okay. There's also additional seating if anyone feels the need to sit down. Please feel free to move forward. Stand for the 21 gun salute. I'd like to close our ceremony this morning by thanking our local Gold Star families for sharing the memory of your loved ones with us. I encourage everyone to keep all the brave servicemen and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in your hearts today. We encourage you to pay your respects at the Flagler County Memorial Day ceremony at 10 a.m. this morning at the Government Services Building on SR 100. Thank you again for joining us here today.